Have a representative with the American Red Cross joining us now live, and we know you are also incredibly important to the work. Let's talk about the role that you all are playing right now with the Caldor fire.
The Red Cross is providing shelter for folks that are displaced by this fire, and we opened new shelters today. Last night across Northern California, the Red Cross provided shelter for nearly 500 Californians in 20 different shelters. Since June, we have provided a shelter to about 12,000 overnight stays and about 36,000 meals to people displaced by these fires. In Caldor area in El Dorado County, we have 3 shelters that have been up and operating for about a week. In Cameron Park, in El Dorado Hills, and in Green Valley shelter in Placerville. We have opened today shelters nearer Lake Tahoe. There's a temporary evacuation position in Truckee, and we have shelters now in Carson City and in Douglas County at Gardnerville.
Yeah, we know that the one of the shelters, I believe there's a Douglas County in Gardnerville. It might be at capacity, and I would bet that you're soon going to see a lot of your other shelters at capacity. If you're one of these people, Kim, we forgot to identify you, Kim Males, Red Cross. If you're one of these people trying to get out of South Lake Tahoe, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I mean, what should they do as far as trying to find your people?
Well, the first thing they need to do is prepare to go.
Yeah.
They need to get together a go bag that has their prescription medicines, their prescription eyeglasses, the various things that are necessities for their life. They need to get a go bag ready to go and be ready to go at a moment's notice. They can Google Red Cross shelters, and that will give them an up-to-date list of open locations, or they can go to redcross.org, which will provide that information, or they could make a telephone call and call 1-800-RED-CROSS to find that information. And so we ask these people to also pay attention to local media and county-run social media for updated information. And we want to make sure that the public knows that the Red Cross is nimble, able, and ready to adjust on the fly to make sure that everyone is supported by this fire. The Red Cross is intentional, not reactionary, and we spent a day before yesterday anticipating what we are seeing today. The day before yesterday, we began moving trailers and trucks loaded with supplies to set up a shelter into position if these events warranted setting up a shelter. When the trigger came late last night, we were able to set up these shelters in the South Lake Tahoe area. We can do so in a matter of hours, as few as 3 hours sometimes. And if folks think that shelters are beginning to fill, know that the Red Cross is flexible, nimble, and will set up other shelters, and everyone who needs help will be helped by the Red Cross.
You know, Kim, again, important work that you guys are doing. There are probably thousands of folks that are watching right now wondering how they can help these folks who have been evacuated. What would you say to them? How can they assist in the efforts to help all of these thousands of people who are now out of their homes and not sure if they'll even have a home to go back to?
Yeah, that's an important question. Of course, we're spread thin right now. We still have flooding going on in Tennessee, and we're deploying hundreds of Red Cross personnel to the Gulf Coast right now because of Hurricane Ida. The best thing people can do is give cash. Some people often think of in-kind donations of goods and services and what have you, and those are appreciated, but they're hard to process through the logistics system that we have. When we have cash, we can immediately turn that into aid. And so I'm going to give you those 2 contact numbers again, and those are the best places to get a hold of a place to make your contribution to the Red Cross. redcross.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. And if they'd like to make a one-time $10 donation, they can text Red Cross to 9099.
And can just point of clarity here, can folks identify a specific relief effort that they want to donate to?
No, it doesn't work with our logistical system. We've got so much going on.
Sure.
But if they want to be specific, what they need to do, if that's a concern and a priority for them, call that 1-800-RED-CROSS number, and you'll be put in touch with a real human being, and they can guide the donations from there.
All right, Kim Males, Red Cross, obviously thank you for the work you do, and we'll continue to follow this as you will as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, as of Sunday night, the Red Cross is operating 20 emergency shelters and campsites, nearly 500 people being sheltered, 325 disaster responders supporting current relief efforts. Red Cross and partners have provided some 36,800 meals, 2,400 relief items have been given out. Financial assistance, I should say, has been provided to more than 1,700 people who are wildfire victims. And add to that all of those people who are leaving South Lake Tahoe today. Of those 22,000 residents, you know that there will be among those people who will also be needing assistance. So hopefully they will be able to find it through the Red Cross and other organizations.